on today as we get closer and closer to the start of the season for Texas A&M. I think yesterday's count was 15 days away. No, we're probably 15 days away from today. Yeah, 15 days away from today.
2 weeks from tomorrow.
I can't wait, man. Kent State, can't wait.
Kent State actually has a really good quarterback.
Somebody that we've seen before. No, I'm sorry. New Mexico is the one somebody we've seen before, but Kent State does have a good quarterback.
Yeah.
Yep.
I could not tell you his name right now.
But you will be able to tell me game week.
Yeah, well, I'll probably start some what's the word? Research, for lack of a better word, next week.
Yep.
On Kent State.
Yeah, it's
boning up.
Boning up on Kent State.
That's right.
I don't know if that's allowed to be said on the radio, but if you want to call the show, you're more than welcome to do that. You can call us on the BCSI hotline. We'd appreciate that, 979-693-1150. Or you can text us on the A&B text line, Real Texas Banking, a College Station branch of Amarillo National Bank. Good Texas Banking. Website is anb.com. And OB, the question for today, and one that we're going to kind of flesh out. See, I'm back on the grammar team. One that we're going to flesh out is yesterday we did the defense. Today we're going to do the offense. What is one stone cold lock about the offense?
You want me to answer right now?
No, I just want you to think about it. Okay. I want you to.
I could answer right now. But
no, I want you to let it
flesh. Oh, let it marinate.
Let it flesh and marinate at the same time. Can we do it?
Marinate some flesh. Some animal flesh, like when I'm going to barbecue.
Very descriptive show here we have for you. Let's go around the room and say hello to the gang. We'll start off with Dalton Hughes there in the fishbowl. Good morning to you, Dalton.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
Wow, your voice earlier this morning when I talked to you, you weren't so happy, but now you sound like a jolly friend.
I was trying to find equipment that someone had moved and not told me where it was. So once I found said equipment, I was in a better mood. It's Friday.
It is Friday.
It's always a good day when you get to listen to Jimbo Fisher speed talk.
I love it. I love how you guys transcribe it too. Good times.
Good job, Richard. I don't have anything to do with that, nor do I want anything to do with that. Did you ever see that video of Jimbo buying cattle from this last offseason?
I don't think I saw that. Did you see it, Obi?
I think I did.
Yeah.
And every time when I saw that, I just thought, Jimbo could have a second life as an auctioneer if he ever doesn't want to coach football.
Jimbo can do anything. He's a leader of men and somebody that I would follow around and somebody who's followed us to TexAgs. We've got somebody new at the News and Social Center, OB. You just met him a few minutes ago. Tomas Romo, or just say Tomas Romo. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, David. How are you doing today?
I'm well. So before we get into the news and headlines, I would like for you to kind of let us know a little bit about you, how you got here. I've met you, 3-4 years ago? Probably 4 years ago, right?
I'd say about 4 years ago. I was still in high school when we crossed paths there. But now a quick story from Houston, here in Aggie land, and I haven't looked back since. I'm here doing the radio show with you, David, and I'm glad to be here, so I appreciate this again.
Yeah, man. So tell us a little bit about what you've done leading up to here, because I know you've got some experience with some play-by-play stuff. You've also done articles, and I know you worked with 12th Man, so kind of give us your background.
Well, in high school, I did a lot of work with Fansided. Wrote some articles for them covering the Dallas Cowboys and the Houston Astros. Worked with 12th Man this past couple of years, and then this summer I got the great opportunity to commentate the Brazos Valley Bombers baseball games. They were TCL champions 2 years ago. Not so lucky this year, but it was a great experience for me this summer.
All right, man. So let's get into it. What headlines do you have for us?
Well, first and foremost, you mentioned it at the soccer team. The Aggies were edged out by number 1 Florida State with an 89th minute goal. They'll return to action on Sunday when they travel to Fort Worth to face the number 8 TCU Horned Frogs. And like you said, there is a football press conference today. We'll hear from Devon A-Chain, Jalen Jones, Nick Constantino, and Coach Fisher, and we'll have all the coverage here at TexAgs. And finally, this is a big one. Former Texas A&M women's basketball star Nadia Jones signs with WBC NSC. Jones will be playing in Russia and will be competing with 48 other teams for the Euro Cup title.
Good stuff there, Tomas. Thank you so much. Quickly on the soccer, I don't know if you were following it last night. I didn't get to see the game. I was getting updates from parents at the soccer practice I was at, but what a heartbreaking way to lose. You go on the road, a bunch of freshmen on your team, a young, gritty team, Texas A&M, and they take on the number 1 team in the country, and they give up a goal in the 89th minute.
1 minute to go.
1 minute to go. But I read some of the comments from Coach G afterwards. He was proud of them. He said, you come to this hostile territory against a team that could have won the national championship last year. Some people think they should have, and they are definitely contenders this year. You put them down to the last minute. And now they got to regroup. They're coming back to Texas. They got TCU, who's the 8th-ranked team. And then they're going to host Clemson, the number 9 team. So what a way to start their year.
I have to admit, I did not know the national soccer rankings.
That's what I'm here for.
Thank you. But yes, that is that is a grind to start off with. And I think that, like Coach G said, if you can tell your players, look, we went toe-to-toe and played even against the number 1 team in the country for 89 minutes. We just gotta figure out how to take care of that extra minute. That's really something to build on, right?
Yeah, it is something to build on. Tomas left the studio. He could have stayed for
good
a little
voice,
bit.
By the way.
Great voice. Yeah, he could have stayed. Like he wasn't kicked out. Goodness gracious, Tomas, come back. Come flirt with us a little bit. Goodness. All right, so let's get into some observations from practice, OB. Did anything stand out to you when you're out there? 'Cause again, we get 20 to 25 minutes. Did anything kind of jump out at you?
Shamar Turner's very athletic.
Yep.
You can tell that. This is one of those things, this is for what we see, right? Michael Clemens, if he has any kind of vertical, which I'm sure he does, they're lining him up over the center or between center and guard as A&M kicks their field goals. Now, I don't know. I would assume that's what they're going to do when opponents are kicking their field goals. And I could see Michael Clemens putting him right there at 6'7", put your hands straight up and try to time your leap, especially on a long field goal where the trajectory is usually lower. And I'm predicting a couple of blocked kicks by Michael Clemens.
You were actually telling me that yesterday at practice. We're sitting there or standing together, and you just saw him, and he's like, this guy would be perfect at this.
That's perfect, you would think, and actually scout it, different guys, and figure out, okay, try to figure out, how many counts until the ball gets, maybe you go 1,001, 1,002 jump.
Right.
But that's just one of those, because there's not a whole lot we're seeing as far as nuts and bolts. Right. So I'm looking at that, and I just found that interesting. Why wouldn't you put your 6'7" guy right there with a long wingspan? And again, he's a good athlete, so I assume he has a pretty good vertical. By the time he jumps with his arms that stretched up, that might be 11 feet. Right?
Right. No, you're exactly right.
And if especially on a long kick with a low trajectory, you maybe just have a great opportunity to block kicks.
Do you remember him? And I don't doing that. Has he blocked?
No, I don't.
He hasn't?
No.
Yeah.
I've seen PV block a kick. I saw Chris Russell block a punt. But no, I don't remember that. But that could. Of course, he's always hurt.
Right.
But that's just one more little detail that you look at and think, what if you're in a 3-point game with Alabama and they're trying to kick a 50-yard field goal? Maybe they'll make it, but I like the idea of having this, long, huge guy, athletic jumping up and maybe giving a chance. Even if you don't block it, maybe you get into the kicker's head.
A guy with that size who, let's just say, is getting close,
Yeah.
that does affect the game. By the way, Hop had a great write-up yesterday on TexAgs. If you're a premium subscriber, you can check that out. He really broke down several of the position groups. And one thing that I noticed, the return of Caleb Chapman. He's already been there, but not wearing the yellow jersey. And I mentioned this last week. I feel like every time I watch him, I forget about the knee injury. And what I mean by that is I'm not favoring. I'm seeing a guy just playing football out there like the rest of the crew.
Yeah, Jimbo had told us last week that he's in and out with the jersey. Yeah, he's still doing everything, but yeah, it does just make you feel better to see him out there. 2 weeks out without the yellow jersey on, and makes you okay. He's going to be ready to go. And again, we got a taste of what he could be.
A small taste, an appetizer, right?
An appetizer. And it just makes you hungry for more. I'm hungry for more.
Yeah, I'm hungry for more. And just we've talked a lot about the weapons that they have at the wide receiver spot and really the tight end spot, the running back spot, but all together. But I think he's the kind of guy that you can go over the top with, and we saw them do that with him last year. but it opens up everybody else. When you have that vertical threat,
Absolutely.
the underneath stuff really opens up.
You know who really loves a deep threat? Who really loves having that guy is your running backs.
Absolutely.
Because the safeties have to play a little bit deeper, and so if you get a play blocked well, boom, you're past the linebackers. You're in the secondary, and you got room to juke and maneuver and all kinds of things because the safeties are deep.
Hey, I got to tell the people this, by the way. We are getting so close to 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. So close that we may hit it today. And if we hit it today, that last hour with Billy Liucci will be live on YouTube. So I'm telling the people that we are, what did I see? It's not on this page. 4.9 thousand. So we're right there.
Need 100.
Basically, 90. Yeah.
Okay.
We need 81 exactly.
Are we at 81 exactly?
Irma, if you're listening, tell all your family, of which there are many,
right,
to subscribe.
Let's get there. People want to see the Luch.
I mean, Luch is built to be a YouTube star, if we're being honest. It's about time we made it happen.
I think we're out of the age bracket, to be honest with you. I think you have to be 17 to be a YouTube sensation. Just saying. I think you got to be young.
Well, Luch is kind of like 17.
He's kind of like a Backstreet Boy.
He's like 45 going on 17.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's coming in studio later. Maybe we shouldn't say that. Hey, Connor, by the way, I see you on the YouTube chat saying, are we going to talk more about my displeasure for school pickup lines today? I did hear about that yesterday. I did hear about it. I forget. Sometimes I forget, like, everybody knows everybody here in town. So I am happy to report I went to go pick up Isla yesterday.
Is that like what's your major?
Huh? Pardon?
School pickup line?
Yes.
You went to get him yesterday, and they just had like this special David Nuño lane.
No, but they do this like little CB radio or walkie-talkie thing, like David or Nuño family for Isla Nuño, and but I felt like there was a little extra eye contact with me, like they're ready to go to blows. It was 10 minutes yesterday for at least the elementary school. It was phenomenal. So the problem was not the school; it's all the freaking parents.
Well, I think you touched on it yesterday. It's early. It's still preseason for them.
It is preseason for them, but also preseason for parents. Like, I got to walk my little kitty to school and do all the. I get it. I did it too, by the way. My wife did it the other day.
The best way I saw it described yesterday was it's like a good barbecue joint. It's pretty much worth the wait.
It is worth the wait, and yes, they were safe, and yesterday was super fast. We haven't figured out the middle school and intermediate pickup strategy yet because they're getting home at 5.
Oh, see, that was the more difficult one for me.
Yeah.
Was the middle school. Even smaller parking lot.
Smaller parking lot, and if they take the bus, it's like an hour.
And a busier street to have to get onto.
Absolutely, yeah. So, but I thought yesterday was great, so props to all the people working there, CSISD, I appreciate them.
All I have to worry about is my kid driving to and from school without, having an accident.
Gosh, that's you showed me a video a little while ago. When he was
7
11
years ago.
Yeah, it's just there's a little boy, and now look at him. He's like 6'4". What is he?
Yeah, about 6'4".
Yeah, it's it was cute.
He reminding me all the time that he can kick my butt.
Well,
every now and then I have to remind him. No, that's not quite the truth. But that day is coming, and it's coming quickly.
So you don't think he's there yet?
Oh, no, because every now and then he wants to wrestle, and I'm like, oh, okay, and then I'll say, okay, and, dad's strength takes over. But those days of being the alpha male in the house may be limited.
Maybe, yeah. No, but he can beat you in a race.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could be. Is there other things he's passed you on? Height and.
Oh, well, we used to play basketball all the time, right?
Right.
And of course, that's been a lost cause for me for quite a while now.
For a little while.
Yeah.
All right, guys, if you want to call on the show, please do on the BCSI Associates hotline, 979-693-1150. When we come back, 21 and 21, presented by Factory Builder Stores, number 6. And that is time for a break.
Find out first, get scores, updates, and more. Follow the Zone 1150 AM 93.7 FM on Twitter. Zone 1150.
We have trucks. Yes, at Tom White Chevrolet, we have the cars, trucks, and SUVs you want today. New, used, and certified pre-owned, we have more stock coming in daily, and we won't be beat on price. And if you need quick cash, we are buying cars even if you don't buy from us. All roads lead to Tom White Chevrolet in Bryan College Station. Chevy, find new roads. More details at tomlight.com.
Tom White Chevrolet, we're here for you. If you have a debit card, you're used to spending money. But what if your card actually ended up earning you money? That's not exactly normal, but that's what you can get at A&B. It's called Kasasa Cashback Checking. Don't mind the weird name. What you need to know is that it's a free account with cash rewards. Use your debit card for everyday purchases, and we'll pay you cash back every month. If that doesn't sound like normal banking, well, guess what? We're not a normal bank. So contact A&B today and ask for Kasasa or visit ANB.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Now that the foster child I was working with has been reunified with his family, I realized that the hardest part wasn't that bittersweet day I had to say goodbye. It wasn't the time spent with social workers, attorneys, and others to make sure he had what he needed to succeed. It wasn't learning how to advocate for a child in foster care and how to navigate the system. The hardest part was realizing I had what it took to become a CASA volunteer. Make a difference in a child's life by visiting becomeacasa.org. Every child has a chance. It's you. Brought to you by Texas CASA.
At Social Security, we are always thinking of ways to save you time and make things easier. That's why we created My Social Security. Opening a My Social Security account gives you secure access to your personal record and interactive tools tailored for you. You can see if you are eligible to receive benefits, view spousal benefit estimates, and compare retirement benefit estimates at different ages or dates when you want to start receiving benefits. Already receiving benefits? Use your account to change your address, set up or change direct deposit, get a proof of income letter, and more. In most states, you can also request a replacement Social Security card. Save time. Go online. Open a My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
The best is yet to come in College Station.
Chase Lane is in for a touchdown! Yes!
Head coach Jimbo Fisher and the Aggies are ready to rise to the top of the SEC.
Swing to Anias, he's in the end zone, a 6-yard reception.
Join us Saturday, September 4th. It's the season opener versus the Kent State Golden Flashes on your home for Aggies football, the Texas A&M Sports Network.
Listen to Aggie football on 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. Online at radioaggieland.com. Or tell your smart speaker to play Zone 1150.
Admit it. The music's growing on you. You love it, OB.
Yeah, growing on me like a fungus, right?
That is right. TexAgs Radio presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. That's what I do when it gets awkward. I just go straight to the tagline. We are here in the Rollo Insurance studio. The difference is real. Rollo Insurance, an independent insurance company built around educating you on exactly what you're paying for, doing the shopping for you so that you can accomplish all of your insurance goals. The headquarters is on Highway 6 right here in College Station. Call 888-44-ROLLO or go to rolloinsurance.com. And now, my friend, it is time for another read. Damani Richardson is our number 6 in 21 and 21, presented by Factory Builder Stores. They can service builders and general public with locations throughout Texas, including right here in College Station on Old Welborn Road and on Rock Prairie, just on the west side of the railroad tracks. Go see our friends Jason and John out there. They'll take very good care of you. All right, Damani Richardson, part of Team NIL here at TexAgs back in the day. You know, one of the originals, the OGs. This guy has got all the intangibles, all the size, the speed, the tenacity, he can tackle, does it all, OB.
Well, he's going to be an NFL player.
Yeah.
And the question for him is, as you get healthier, because last year he played with I think it was a sore foot. As you get healthier and even better, you know, how high will you be drafted? I think potentially a first-round pick. Not saying he will be, but potentially. I think he's definitely someday going to be a high pick. But, I mean, he does things. I talked about Jalen Jones yesterday, just being a good football player and being able to just recognize things you do. He's the same way. He just understands from day one. He just understands how to play his position. how to read routes and understand that, I need to, close off on this receiver who's coming across the middle, or read it a different way, and I need to go deep. And more often than not, he's right, and he has the distinction of being one of the very few players, college players, to intercept Tua Tagovailoa.
That's right.
I think a healthy Damani Richardson, and I'm assuming he's healthy, and golly, he looks it. Man, that guy just completely bought in to Coach Smitty's training, because he's just jacked. I mean, looks the part. But I think there's every reason to believe he's been good, but there's every reason to believe he's going to have the best year of his career. As a freshman, he's a freshman, finding his way and playing really well, but a freshman. Last year, playing well, had some COVID issues, also had the foot injury, what I understand to be a foot injury. And this year, apparently healthy, has experience. Expect the very best Damani Richardson we've seen yet, and we've already seen a good player.
Yeah, and you mentioned him as a potential first-round pick. And I don't think he's listed as a first-rounder right now, but I think what you're saying here, and tell me if I'm wrong here, he's got all the size, the speed, the intangibles that a first-round safety would look like, A. B, if this is a special season, the special kind of season, then we think he's going to have a lot of eyeballs on him, and that changes the trajectory. If he stays healthy, now he joins that conversation.
Yeah, and I don't think you necessarily look at Damani Richardson as being in next year's draft, although he certainly could.
We're talking 2 years from now.
It could be, I just think that this guy's is a special player that's only going to get more special. I mean, this is a guy that's been starting since he was a freshman, day one, and he makes plays, good tackler, good in coverage. I don't know what you're looking for in a safety that he's not, except that he was somewhat hurt last year. Now,
part of it was COVID, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, part of it. But I was told, and maybe I shouldn't even talk about it because I never could get it confirmed. And people, how it is now. Sometimes it's hard to get information.
Yeah.
But I was heard he had a sore foot, a bad foot, some foot issue, or maybe his ankle. I don't know. But he wasn't at 100% health. So if that's the case, that would explain certain things. But I still thought he was good last year when he was in there. Now,
he had knee surgery last year.
Is that what it was?
Yeah,
okay.
He had knee surgery last year.
So I guess it was confirmed. So I'm looking for him to have the best year of his career, and I think he learned a lot last year. And I think we're going to talk about one of and maybe the only negative play that I remember from him. And Alabama's looking at 3rd and long at like their own 15. You think, okay, get a stop here. And instead, Jalen Waddle ends up catching like an 85-yard touchdown pass. And on that play, I think you saw Damani hesitate just a bit to see where a play was going, and it ended up being
enough.
Fastest, right. First of all, that was a healthy Jalen Waddle, right? There's not many players like that.
Right.
He may never face one like that again in college, But I also think that he'll be the guy that's smarter because of it and is less likely to have that nanosecond of hesitation that'll cost you.
Sure. You mentioned Damani, potential first-round pick whenever that day may come, if it's this summer or this April, next April, whenever it may be. Let's kind of go through that for a second about the potential first-rounders on this team just right now. You've got DeMarvin Leal.
Yeah, I call him first-round talent.
First-round talent. But he's, I think, in that conversation, right? Top 10. You've got Kenyon Green.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Jalen. Well, talent is there.
Jalen Watermeyer.
Yeah, but I don't think tight ends.
First-round talent, but some guys don't get picked based on position.
Isaiah.
Yes.
And who am I thinking? Who am I missing here? Ainias.
Ainias.
There's 5.
Someday Jalen Jones will be.
Yep.
Damani Richardson. That's why I've said that I believe that the talent gap between Alabama and A&M is narrower than it's ever been. McKinley Jackson someday is probably going to be a first-round pick.
Sure.
There are guys now, not this year, obviously, but there are guys that, you may not get taken in the first round, like Christian Kirk didn't. You think there are some teams right now that are saying, gosh, we should have taken him instead of this guy?
Absolutely.
Right?
No, probably, there isn't, because those guys probably got fired.
They may not be in their position,
right,
and they're thinking, gosh, if I'd have taken...
Had I done that?
Yeah, so you see, Drew Brees was a second-round pick. Derrick Henry was a second-round pick. They were first-round talents. So I think Damani Richardson is a potential first-round pick, or that'll have first-round talent. And I think if he's not a first-round talent player, that someday some guys are going to be going, man, you could have had Damani Richardson, and you took this guy. And every fan base has that. You're looking at your past drafts, you're saying you could have had this guy, and this guy, this dumb GM took him, right?
What I love about his game is the physicality. You want that from that back there, absolutely. But I love the physicality he brings. I forget which game it was. There was a hit he had. Was it against who was it? Kadarius Toney or whatever his name is.
It might have been. I think.
And Jalen, I think at one point Jalen Waddle, I think he got him as well.
Well, I think he had a big hit. I think it was him. I should have gone back and looked. In the first game against Vanderbilt. And Vanderbilt is driving, and we're in a situation like, what is going on here? And I think I think he made a contact which made the ball flutter, and Leon O'Neal picked it off. If my memory serves. Maybe somebody who's listening will remember that better than me. But I think that's what happened. I mean, he's just he's a physical guy that that can cover.
All right, Obi, let's get into the column you wrote yesterday. Was it yesterday?
It was posted yesterday.
It was posted yesterday. We'll get into that here on TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers on the other side of the break.
With your community calendar on The Zone. Loss of a Spouse is a free seminar on Sunday, August 29th from 4 to 6 p.m. at Peace Lutheran Church. Email rhonda@peacelutheranbcs.org for more information. Now on display at the Arts Council, Refrigerator Art. Art created during summer art camps and Saturday adult classes will be displayed in the lobby gallery through the end of August. Pride Community Center offers 2 support groups to bring individuals together to address societal pressure, discrimination, and stigma regarding LGBTQ+ identity. For more information on these programs, visit pridecc.org. Help the Brazos Valley Food Bank bring hope to the table. Go online to bvfb.org. Stop by the Tap for dinner and a drink, or listen in on The Zone 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. Join the Liucci Hour, powered by King Ranch Saddle Shop, every Monday and Thursday night at 6. You can also listen online at radioaggieland.com. I'm Chelsea Reber on The Zone.
Hey, it's David Nuño. Texas known for football, barbecue, and hot summer temperatures. And typically, the hotter the weather, the higher your electricity bill. But with some help from Energy Ogre, a Texas technology company, you can lower your bill by up to 40%. In fact, we signed up 2 years ago, and they saved my family 35%. Energy Ogre will find you the cheapest electricity plan in your area. Manage all future contracts, saving you time and money. Go to EnergyOgre.com and enter code HOWDY for a free month of service. That's EnergyOgre.com to start saving today.
Question: would you pick a chain barbecue place over a hometown joint? Do you root for East Coast universities instead of the local team? Nah, then why choose a big Wall Street bank? A&B started in 1892. 5 generations later, we're still owned and operated by the same Texas family. We support this community. We value your privacy. We make quick decisions, and we hate red tape. We answer to you, not Wall Street. Bank with A&B. Family owned, Texas proud. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
We have trucks. Yes, at Tom White Chevrolet, we have the cars, trucks, and SUVs you want today. New, used, and certified pre-owned. We have more stock coming in daily, and we won't be beat on price. And if you need quick cash, we are buying cars even if you don't buy from us. All roads lead to Tom White Chevrolet in Bryan College Station. Chevy, find new roads. More details at tomlight.com.
Tom White Chevrolet. We're here for you every day.
The fall edition of the Louis Bellina Show starts on Monday, August 23rd, and well, I would know. What does the fall edition even mean? The return of Cedric Golden of the Austin American Statesman at 12:05. Mitch Light of The Athletic, 12:05. Braden Gall of 440 Sports, 12:05. And Bryce Jones, well, he's still here at 12:05. The gang gets together for another football season. Listen in weekdays 11 to 2 right here on The Zone.
Church vibes here on TexAgs Radio. See, like a hit church playing that song. I can see that. Yeah. You feel that?
Yeah, kind of some of the churches I've attended.
Yeah. Hey, it is TexAgs Radio, and we are presented by
so many.
David Gardner's Jewelers.
David Gardner's. I'm looking at there's Rollo.
We're in the Rollo Insurance Studio.
Yeah.
Hey, we're about to get into the column.
By the way, David Gardner's. One time I took I'm sorry to hijack this, but one time I wanted something of my wife's fix, a bracelet. And I took it to them, and they said, you know what? We could do this, but if you'll take it to this place, they'll do it cheaper than we can.
What nice.
Yes.
Wow.
I was very impressed with that.
You know what I was most impressed with was how kind they are. They're just really nice people, genuine.
I have bought
David.
stuff there.
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
They're great.
But I was really impressed with that.
So before we get into your article from yesterday that was posted, you went back to the tape. Your memory, dude, you are Recall Johnson, okay? You can recall things, and you said, if my memory serves me correct, blah, 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 blah. You described the play, and we went back on YouTube during the break, and you found the play about Damani Richardson, kind of help re-explain. It's the Vanderbilt game.
Vanderbilt's driving late. It's in the fourth quarter, and they're trying to hit a pass, looks like maybe a post, and Damani comes from deep. He's the deep safety. He comes up and deflects the ball away, so it's going to be incomplete. But he deflects it up, and Leon comes over, intercepts it, returns it about to midfield, gets tackled, and then there's starts to be a scrum.
Right. So what I think is important about that play is I'm glad that you remember that play. Most people remember Leon's interception.
Right.
They don't remember what led to the interception, the hit to the quarterback, the tip pass from the safety, whatever it may be. And that's what do they call it? The assist before the assist in basketball. That's exactly what happened there. Without that play, there's no interception.
Right. It's going to be incomplete, but it was even better. So credit both your safeties there.
Absolutely.
Because one guy comes in and makes the deflection, the other guy swoops in and gets it, and that's the way you're supposed to do it.
Hey, my memory's not too good. What year is this for Jimbo Fisher?
The fourth year. He's entering his fourth year at Texas A&M.
Hey, and remind me, what year did Jimbo Fisher win a national championship at Florida State?
That would be his fourth year.
Oh my goodness, there's a lot of parallels and similarities.
There could be, yeah.
So I'm obviously joking here.
I know.
Tell me some of the things that when you were doing research, because I believe you and I have been talking about this story for weeks. Like this is you did some research over time and you found some interesting nuggets. Let's kind of go through that.
Well, there's some interesting nuggets. Jimbo Fisher took over a team that had been 7-6 the year before he took over at Florida State. Well, the Aggies were 7-6. Jimbo Fisher, the first year he went 10-4 at Florida State. His first year at A&M he went 9-4. His third year he won the Orange Bowl, and the third year at A&M he wins the Orange Bowl. His last three recruiting classes before he won the national championship, that would have been in 13. So the 11, 12, and 13 recruiting classes were all in the top 10. His last three recruiting classes here at A&M have all been in the top 10. I think he had his defense the previous year in his third year at Florida State, ranked second in the nation. A&M's was ninth, so two top 10 defenses. There's those kind of things. He had two running backs returning that were NFL caliber guys. Is it James Wilder Jr.? and Damani Freeman.
Sounds right.
Devontae Freeman. And they combined for about 1,200, about 1,300 yards. Well, Isaiah Spiller and Devon A-Chain combined for 1,400 yards and fewer games, by the way. He went into that season with a redshirt freshman quarterback. A&M might go into this season with a redshirt freshman quarterback. Now, I don't know if he's going to win the Heisman Trophy. So there's just a lot of parallels, but mainly, and Jimbo said this, what the biggest similarity is from with this A&M team to that is that the culture's been established, that players have taken ownership. He doesn't have to tell guys what to do or how to approach their job, because if they're not, the other players will. And he says that's what they've got here now. So that play with toughness, effort, discipline, and pride that they did with Florida State, it's ingrained here.
Yeah, right.
So the other things are just interesting things to point out. Now, here's the big differences. By the way, Jimbo always likes to use the tight end. Nick O'Leary, Jack Nicklaus's grandson,
right,
playing in the NFL. He had like 26 catches for 252 yards and 3 touchdowns. About half, almost exactly half the production that Jalen Weidemeyer had last year. So, you're better there. But they had 4 returning starters in the offensive line. A&M has 1, so that's a big difference.
That is the difference.
They had an all-conference caliber linebacker returning Christian Jones. I don't know that Aaron Hansford is an all-conference caliber linebacker, I think, but he was in his first year as a starter. I expect every starter to be better in their second year as a starter.
Absolutely.
He had an experienced secondary coming back. A&M has an experienced secondary. They had LaMarcus Joyner, who would be a second-round pick. Well, I think A&M probably has at least a couple of second-round picks or better in that secondary.
Do you remember, and I can look it up if you don't, how stacked the ACC was that year? Because I think that's to me, the big difference is the gauntlet of the SEC
right.
West versus.
I don't know if that was the year that the ACC, and I can't ever remember if they're Coastal or Atlantic Division, which one they are. One year I thought it was the best with Clemson, and remember Louisville was really good, and Florida State, and I think they had a couple of teams that were pretty good. I don't know if it was that year. I do know that the big game that they had to win, obviously, was Clemson.
Right.
6th game of the year. And, of course, we're playing Alabama in the 6th game of the year. A lot of parallels, but to me, those are just fun things to compare. But what really matters, and yes, to your point, I don't think the ACC even then was the grind that the SEC is. But I just think that, again, the thing that's most important is that Jimbo feels that the mentality, the ownership of program, the toughness, effort, discipline, that Florida State team had when it won the national championship, that he sees those same qualities in this team.
That's big. That is absolutely big. Now, when you look at what Jimbo was able to do there, and what he's doing here, obviously you can't look at history and think it's going to recreate itself. That being said, with all the intangibles, with all the things that have been put in place here, I feel that as long as Haynes or Zach are Kellen Mond level-esque, and I think they have potential both to be better. I'm not one that thought Kellen was incredible. I thought Kellen was perfect for the moment, and he helped drive the ship. If Haynes is a difference maker, that's because that was the difference maker for them, was Jameis Winston.
Yes. Let's understand they also got fortunate in that they played a team, Auburn, that was very good, but extremely lucky.
Yes,
that was the year they beat Georgia on the prayer at Jordan-Hare. They beat A&M because Johnny hurt his shoulder, at the 1 yard line, and A&M didn't get the touchdown. They beat Alabama on the kick six. I think they even got lucky early against Clemson.
They got lucky all year.
Right. So then, and they almost got lucky against Florida State, because it's my recollection that Damian Craig was actually coaching for Auburn, who had coached for Fisher at Florida State, and knew the signals when they're calling plays, and was able to tip off his guys what to expect. And then at halftime, they had to adjust.
Do you remember, I feel like there was a lot of hype for Jameis Winston that year, even in the preseason. Am I wrong about that?
I don't remember a lot of hype for Jameis. I think it was the big question mark. He was replacing, was he replacing E.J. Manuel, who had been a first-round pick?
That sounds right.
And so there was like, well, they have this, but, how good are they going to be? They entered the season that year ranked 11th in the preseason AP poll. So there was respect, but I think that most people expect Clemson was going to win.
Right.
And so, there was this question mark. Well, because isn't there always a question mark until your quarterback actually plays, unless you're Alabama?
Absolutely. Now, let's just for a moment pretend it goes very similar to what it went for Florida State as we're getting to week 9. Let's say A&M's undefeated heading into the LSU game. At that point, if Haynes King is your quarterback, is he getting talked about as a Heisman?
Oh, absolutely. I think the first definition, even though last year was different, of a Heisman Trophy candidate is the quarterback of a national championship contending team.
Right.
And
not just a game manager, like somebody who makes plays.
Well, I've seen game managers be, A.J. McCarron
right.
was it's almost as if someone says being a game manager is a bad thing.
Manage the game to win. How about that?
Yeah. If you couldn't make plays, you wouldn't be playing there anyway, right? So I want a guy, and part of managing the game is making plays. So, now if you were that guy, I've mentioned Buck Bellew in 1980 at Georgia. It's different. If all you had to do was hand off to Herschel Walker and you threw the ball, you threw like 20 passes in an entire year. Okay, that's a game manager, I guess, but that wouldn't win the Heisman. But I think if you're, especially the way football's played now, if you're the quarterback of a national championship caliber team, you will become a candidate.
Yep, you'll be in the mix. It'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. So we got some questions coming in for you for the last segment. We'll do that here. If you want to text the show, you can do that. 979-693-1150, the AMB text line. And the BCSI Associates hotline is also that same number, thanks to Dr. K. 979-693-1150. But right now, a moment for our friends at the Association of Former Students. I left, graduated from school, was a paying member, was a Century Club donor. And I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 6 years later, whatever it was, I kind of just fell out. Didn't just 1 year didn't renew, didn't think about it. I'll do it next month. And the next month went a couple weeks, and then a couple months, and then I lost touch. And I'm a little embarrassed to admit it out loud. And I think a lot of you have probably gone through that as well. Like you do it right out of school, you do it for a few years, you're happy, you get your little sticker for your car, and then you kind of lose touch, and you lose the fact that they're here to help everyone out there. That's your association. They're here, there, and everywhere, and they're helping everywhere around campus, and anybody involved with Texas A&M with the Warrior Scholarship project that they have, the Midnight Yale Security, the Study Abroad scholarships, and it's not expensive to be a part of it. $100 a year, $9 a month. You get the decal, the plaque, the Texas Aggie magazine, and you're giving back to Aggies out there, guys. To learn more about the impact of the association, get involved, or make a gift, visit aggienetwork.com/giving.
This is the Zone 1150 AM and 93.7 FM.
Who knew mowing could be this fun? Hi, this is David from Kairos Truck Center inviting you to come down and take a test drive on one of our zero-turn mowers from Cub Cadet or Ferris. There's no better way to social distance than getting outdoors. At Kairos Truck Center, we offer zero money down and 0% interest on all our zero-turn mowers. At Kairos Truck Center, we make mowing as close to fun as it gets. Kairos Truck Center, Highway 21, half a mile east of the bypass in Bryan.
We think it's time for a laugh. Bryan Broadcasting and the Nikki Peterson Talent Network present Good Clean Fun, a comedy night with Carrie Pomeroli.
So you guys, yes, I am a member of the Mommy Mafia. I have 2 kids. I have a 4-year-old and a good one.
Hollywood's favorite clean comedian is live in College Station, Friday, September 3rd at 7 p.m. at Skybreak Church.
I was in the Zumba class, and there's this teacher, right? And she's all cute and sassy, and she's like, shake what your mama gave you. I'm in the back are going, my mama gave me sciatica and allergies.
Bring your friends, bring a date, bring anyone who's ready for a good time.
You guys, who's happy just to be out of the house? Really? Right?
Good Clean Fun, a comedy night with Carrie Pomeroli, September 3rd, presented by Nikki Peterson Talent Network. Be discovered. Thanks in part to our sponsors, Strata Auto Repair, Mark's Manny's Appliance Repair and Cleaning Service, Dirt Road Rustics Furniture and Home Decor, Buff City Soap, Soap Makery, and Longway Home Adoptables. Tickets, VIP, and group packages available at BrianBroadcasting.com.
Howdy, this is Steve Bledsoe, fighting Texas Aggie class of '83, with some exciting news. VeriBank is now open with our new full-service location on Highway 6 in College Station. With personal bankers, business bankers, VeriBank has everything you need in one convenient location. Come see for yourself, where genuine banking is waiting for you, and you can bank on it.
Visit VeraBank.com today. That's VERA Bank.com. VeraBank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
This is ESPN Radio.
Head coach Mike Boynton, Oklahoma State basketball.
Immense talent, a work ethic that's been unmatched by any other kid I've coached.
Talking to Matt Nagy right now, the head coach of the Chicago Bears.
When I say the room is healthy, Andy Dalton is doing everything he possibly can to help Justin.
Charles Haley, Pro Football Hall of Famer.
I always believed that the fans, they're the ones that paid my salary. I always felt like I owed them something.
Talking to Pat Connaughton right now, NBA champion.
The talking head saying it can't be done, Giannis has to leave. It just makes it that much sweeter in the end.
Rams head coach Sean McVay.
Some of the most difficult parts of playing the quarterback position are really where he illustrates what a special player he is.
Hall of Famer Oscar Robertson.
It's a partnership. Now the players can decide if two or three want to get together. Years ago, owners could stop that.
Play the tight end position for the Green Bay Packers, JaMychal Finley.
If you got a guy saying, I'm not taking that shot, guess what that looks like? Oh, we ain't got a team player here.
ESPN Radio, weeknights and weekends on Sports Radio 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. The Zone.
It is TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. And we are going to be responding to your text messages here in a moment, but right now it is time for Bank on It, presented by VeraBank, authentic relationship-based banking built for real life. Go see Joel Jackson and the team out there. Learn more at verabank.com. OB, is there anything that we need to bank on?
Yeah, there's some weeping and gnashing of teeth involving recruiting on our message boards these days. And, because, some players might want to take their visits. Well, first of all, I would take all my visits, even if I knew where I was going.
Road trip.
Yes, I want to have fun. And I don't know if any players are going to decommit or whatever. But no matter what happens, bank on Jimbo Fisher and his recruiting and finishing with a top 10 or maybe a top 5 class, because you think he's worried? No. So I wouldn't be worried either. Jimbo, no matter what happens with all this, again, this stress that you're going for, haven't you learned yet that when it's all said and done, Fisher's going to get the job done?
He's going to get it done. And by the way, if you let's find at what age, I think at any age really, but if you're a 50-year-old man typing with a fake name, mean things at a 17-year-old kid who's changing his mind because whatever reason, it's Thursday, he changes his mind. His parents have a connection to another school. He's not feeling enough love. You don't have to be rude. You don't have to, you're a loser if you do, for an opinion.
Yeah, first of all, let me say this. All you 50-year-old guys that are on TexAgs, I love you.
Yo, I love you too.
And thank you. But
don't be rude to people.
There's just get things under control, because your coach has it under control, I guarantee you.
So I haven't seen some of the mean stuff. In general, I see on social media for other schools, and I saw it at our recruits when our recruits or commits are saying, I'm going to A&M, right? I've seen it. And it's what people have their reasons. It's going to be fine. I think you phrased it better than I could ever phrase it. Just bank on Jimbo Fisher. He's got it taken care of.
He's going to get it taken. And quite frankly, if you believe in all that stuff, and you're that interested in recruiting for your school, well, understand that somebody is going to find your comment that's attacking a kid, and they're going to put it on their their site to use it against you. Yeah, look how those Aggies treat the guys. Look how they treat kids and things like that. Don't.
I think our base does a pretty good job.
I do. I think we're talking about a very small number. And you know what? You always don't even know if they're Aggies. And I'll tell you an example. Remember the letter, that was the racist letter that was sent to Kevin Sumlin.
Right.
Oh, what Aggie? It turns out it was a University of Texas guy.
Right.
So you never know, but just check yourself. It's not that big a deal.
No, it's not. Now, I understand being disappointed. I get that. If a guy...
Well, he's not gone yet.
Or, I'm just saying in general, I understand being disappointed if somebody were to choose a different school. I get that. By the way, I guess I should bank on something. Bank on the Texas A&M women's soccer team bouncing back against TCU. Yeah, it's going to be tough coming back from the East Coast back to Texas, but I think Coach G's got a squad over there.
And I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna act like I'm gonna see him, but G is such a good guy, and he's obviously a great coach because they've been so good for so long. But he's such an easy guy to root for.
Absolutely, Tomas, I owe you one. We'll get you back here in a little bit. It is TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers.
Grab your first cup of coffee weekday mornings with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Powered by WC Tractor here on 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. Plus online at radioaguiland.com. WC Tractor is your local award-winning Kubota and New Holland dealer. You have questions? Look them up online or at WCTractor.com. That's WCTractor.com. You can also call with your questions at 1-888-8-TRACTOR. That's 1-888-8-TRACTOR. ESPN Radio. Powered by WC Tractor here on the Zone.
The flagship station for Aggie Athletics is The Zone. Whenever the Aggies are playing, you can hear them right here at 1150 and 93.7 FM. Thanks to our listeners and our sponsors for backing the Aggies all season long. First Financial Bank, Bryan College Station Toyota, Rudy's Barbecue, Schulte Roofing, The Sleep Station, and Pioneer Steel. Here's a big gig-em to all these sponsors. Listen to Aggie Athletics on The Zone 1150 and 93.7 FM.
Download podcast of your favorite shows, Louie, Chip, or TexAgs in the Pod Center at zone1150.com. Subscribe and have them downloaded daily for you in the Pod Center at zone1150.com. This is KZNE College Station Bryan.
From WTAW, I'm Chelsea Reber with a news update on The Zone. Health authorities continue the push for coronavirus vaccinations. Admiral Brett Giroir was a member of the White House COVID task force team during the Trump administration. Giroir, who was also the acting FDA commissioner during his time in Washington, D.C., says a lack of leadership in the FDA is the only reason the vaccines have not been fully approved.
We have good clinical trial data, so these are safe and effective vaccines. And I would not be concerned at all that they're not fully approved.
Giroir warns that if you have not had COVID and you are not vaccinated, you will get Delta. Hear the entire interview online at WTAW.com. Texas A&M has started the lengthy process of being reaccredited for the next 5 years.
This is a pass-fail thing. It's not we're not striving for an A+, we're striving for a pass.
Assistant Provost Alicia Dorsey told A&M's Faculty Senate on August 9th that she's sequestered for 24 days collecting information.
For an institution of our size and complexity, it is unheard of to get a perfect score, particularly from the offsite review. And so I always want to set the expectation that we will be getting things back in November, saying that we've got to give some additional information, and that's just part of it.
The accreditation timeline includes an off-site review in November and an on-site review next March and a final review in December of next year. Bryan police continue to look for family members to notify them of the gunshot deaths of 2 people Wednesday night near Henderson Park. No suspect information has been released in what BPD is classified as a capital murder of multiple persons on Mockingbird Road. The driver of a small pickup that rolled twice on the freeway in front of Central Park yesterday morning came away with minor injuries. College Station police report the truck rolled after the driver swerved to avoid hitting an object. The southbound lanes were closed for about 40 minutes. For more, go online to WTAW.com. I'm Chelsea Reber on The Zone.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see. Depression won't show up on an eye chart, and you can't measure it on your bathroom scale. Sorting out a mental health concern is not something to attempt on your own. You won't find a bipolar disorder by looking at a thermometer. Like many other health conditions, help for mental illness takes professional diagnosis and treatment. Anxiety won't just go away under a stick-on bandage. So the sooner you seek treatment, the better. If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, don't go it alone. Find out what to do. For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral, call 1-800-662-HELP. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support. That's samhsa.gov/support.
Good morning, sports fans. I'm Zach Taylor with your Aggie Sports Minute on The Zone. The Sports Minute is brought to you by Hilco Metal Roofing and Supply. Call 936-825-0500 or click HilcoSupply.com. The quarterback battle rages on for Texas A&M football as sophomores Haynes King and Zach Calzada duke it out for the starting job. Now, with a stable of young signal callers, Aggie head coach Jimbo Fisher was asked how he approaches those teaching moments.
That depends on the individual, the time, the situation, and where I think their development is, and when they need to be pushed or when they need to be challenged or when they need to be eased off. And I think that's a field that you have to go. And I've been riding our guys pretty good. I've been pushing them, and because they're young, and I want to see who can mentally, do the things you got to do. But they're also progressing very nicely.
Now, King appeared in 2 games for the Aggies last year, throwing for 59 yards and a touchdown while also running for 43 yards. Calzada saw the field 3 times in 2019, completing 12 of 24 passes for 133 yards and 2 scores. Fisher could announce a starting quarterback as early as today when the Aggies hold their weekly press conference at Kyle Field. 9th-ranked Aggie women's soccer dropped its season opener to top-ranked Florida State last night, 1-0. The 2 teams remained scoreless until the 89th minute when Seminoles midfielder Clara Robbins found the net. The Maroon and White will look to bounce back this Sunday when they visit 8th-ranked TCU in Fort Worth. And that's been your Aggie Sports Minute, brought to you by Hilco Metal Roofing and Supply. On The Zone, I'm Zach Taylor.
DJ K-Dub checking in, previously on the Feinbaum Show.
You know the one common thread that you have had on this program every single year, Matt? You have predicted Texas A&M to beat Alabama every single year.
I know, this year's different.
Matt, the only thing different is that you don't seem to learn from history.
Now I learn from history, but history can be wrong sometimes.
No, history is never wrong.
The Paul Feinbaum Show, powered by Polaris Fun Center, 2 to 4 weekdays on The Zone.
We're going to continue some football talk, but we're going to take a moment to represent Aggie basketball. It's TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, 911 University Drive, East in College Station. They've got it all, Rolexes, timepieces, you name it, David Yurman collection. Shop online at davidgardnersjewelers.com. We're here in the Rollo Insurance Studio, joined by Logan Lee. Good morning to you, my friend.
Good morning, David. How are you?
I'm good, man. So you've been busy with your multiple roles at TexAgs, father,
not at all.
Jobs, but we got to talk a little hoops with you, my friend. What a big week, something we had been kind of alluding to for a while.
Yeah, for a long while.
Yeah.
It's been a long while, but A&M finished out the roster finally.
Yeah,
got a transfer from Virginia Tech, Tyrese Radford. I think I'm getting more excited. So when we found out that this was a possibility and that then when it was going to happen, I was excited about it. I thought this is a player that could be one of the better guys on the roster. I think as soon as it became official, my excitement exponentially grew because I started looking at him even in more in depth, and this guy's going to make the team better. on the court, off the court. I feel like everything that I've heard about him from friends in the business, from reading online, from watching whatever video stuff that I can watch, he is so intense at all aspects of life.
Right.
I mean,
he's a buzz kind of guy, right?
He is a buzz kind of guy. And we've said that a lot for a lot of these recruits. Hey, that's a buzz guy. I think he is the example. And
a buzz guy with game.
A buzz guy with game. You put him on the court, he's going to guard anybody. He's going to get up in anybody's grill. He is going to try to make things happen, but he's going to do it in the right way. If you look at last year, he averaged a little over 12 points, almost 6 rebounds a game, a little over 2 assists, but he didn't dominate the ball at all. Just whenever he got the ball, he made things happen. Right. He wasn't a guy that needed 30, 35 touches. He's a guy that is very efficient. And when he doesn't have the ball and he doesn't get a shot opportunity, that kid's trying to go find the ball off the rim and go get it and mix it up in the paint.
I see not necessarily a deep threat shooter, but he attacks the rim and he can defend. He likes to attack, right?
He loves to attack. He loves to get in the paint. He loves to be physical. If you look at just the way the games break down for him last season, in the last 8 games, he scored over double digits in all 8 games. That's including the run through the ACC tournament, first round of the NCAAs, and he's a 22% 3-point shooter. But he's averaging double figures because he's so aggressive, because he's not going to be stopped, and because he takes shots at the right time. He doesn't force the ball a ton. I think his outside shooting is the 22%. Doesn't really show exactly what he is. If you put him on a team like I think A&M's roster is looking like, he's not going to take a ton of 3-point shots. He will take the shots that are open, and I think everybody's better when they have time to set their feet, get the ball set in their hands, take a shot. So his percentage, my guess, would probably go up just because the shots that he will be taking are going to be easier shots.
So A&M had to beat LSU, I forget whoever else, but he was in the mix for some other schools. Why do you think he ended up picking Texas A&M? Is it the relationship with Buzz?
I think so. I think ultimately that is what won him over. Buzz recruited him to go to Virginia Tech, signed him at Virginia Tech, and then he didn't get to play for Buzz. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it was A&M, LSU, and Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech because he was familiar with him. He had success with him. He was a second-team All-ACC player. That option was on the table, and they very much wanted him to come back. Louisiana, that's where he's from. LSU is Will Wade is putting together a pricey team, so that they're always going to be a threat. And then A&M with Buzz. And I think the relationship with Buzz and what the vision that I think this coaching staff has showed him is ultimately why he chose here.
So what does this team look like with him in the lineup and without him in the lineup? Because we waited so long that there was a little bit of panic. Like, what are they going to look like next year? And they're certainly better with him, obviously, but just help us understand the kind of impact he could have on this roster.
I think the overall impact is going to be not just on the court during games. The fact that he's going to push everybody in practice. I mean, I have a feeling, and this is just a gut feeling. This isn't anything that I know. This is just a gut feeling. People are going to learn if they're not going full force in practice and they're going up against Radford, they're going to get hurt. They better be prepared. He's going to bring the intensity level up 5, 6, 7, 8 notches, and that's going to make the team better. To go along with that, it's not that he knows Buzz's system, but I think he understands the type of coach Buzz is, and because he does have a couple of years of collegiate experience in the ACC going up against big-time guys, he's going to bring that to the table. he's going to be a guy that when A&M gets in a rut, when they're struggling, you can give him the ball and say, go get one, go find one, and he'll get a basket. Or if A&M needs a steal, imagine, just think about him on defense with Quentin Jackson, D'ing up on the perimeter.
Right.
You have Marcus Williams, who has yet to be seen what's going to happen in SEC play, but he was the rookie of the year in his conference last year. You put Ethan Henderson out there. There's just there, and he can play the 4, he can play the 3, be a big 3. There's just a number of different options that Buzz can go with right now, and especially seeing from last year.
Right.
Buzz isn't afraid to change up the lineup at the drop of a dime. He will change it up to fit whatever opponent they're going against. So I think we'll see a bunch of different rosters, a bunch of different lineups, all of them with Radford in it.
How big of a year is this for Buzz? Because year one, pretty much a success. Last year, kind of a wash. This year, a completely different roster. You're almost starting all over, but and I don't even know if it's fair to have expectations with so many new pieces, yet he's got a lot of kind of players that he wants.
He does have a lot of the players that he wants. He did a pretty good job with the transfer portal and the recruiting. I wouldn't say he did a great job, but he did a really good job for what he was dealing with, especially coming off of a 2-8 season in conference and missing all of February, not playing a game in the month of February. I mean, that's really tough. You're correct. Year one, I think it was a win for Buzz and the program. You know, he got SEC Coach of the Year. They were on a hot streak before everything shut down. Year two, I don't know if you could say it was a wash. 2-8 is tough. It's hard to go. It's hard to say anything was normal during COVID, and
Sure.
Some people reacted well, others didn't. I don't think A&M reacted well, but how can you blame them for that with everything that they had to go through? I mean, being shut down
was a month, right?
At least,
right.
They didn't play for a month, but they didn't practice for longer than that as a team. Like they even struggled to get enough bodies to get a practice going. So how do you deal with that? I think this year, if they can show signs of improvement, not necessarily in record, obviously you want that record to be much better than what it was last season, but if they can show that they have a cohesive offense, if they understand the defense, if they're playing all out to the end of the game, to every single buzzer for the shot clock, before the media timeouts, everything that happens, if they can play the style of basketball that everybody thinks of when they think of a Buzz Williams team, I think that's a win, because they'll win games at that point. They're not a team that's going to walk in the gym and just overpower any opponent, but I think they're a team that they'll be able to sneak up, and if guys aren't prepared to play them, they're going to win. They're going to win some ball games, and they might win a game or two that they shouldn't win.
So I'm looking through the roster here, and got a lot of new players, but one that isn't here that we thought was going to be here was Jordan Hall. How did that all how did that? It just seemed weird. Like one moment, they got a good player in Hall, and then no, he's not coming.
Yeah, that was a tricky one. I think the fact that he was actually enrolled at Texas A&M, but the transfer rules go on and are stated a little differently. You can sign your NIL and you can enroll in classes, but if you don't attend a class, then you're not necessarily considered both feet in the boat, all in with A&M, and that's what happened. He went to these pro camps and these NBA scouting venues, and I mean, from what I've been told, he was basically told, if you go back to your location and you improve, as long as you keep improving,
you have a chance.
Then you have a chance. And so why would you take that risk to go to a new place, not know the players, the coach, the system, if it's going to fit you, but at the same time, go back to the same school that is building around you? Why would you not do that? Especially getting the feedback of all you have to do is improve in this statistical category or that category, and you'll be fine, and you're going to be an NBA guy. And it's hard to argue with that, but at the same time, I'm a loyal guy, and if I say that I'm leaving and I'm transferring to a place and I give my word, that's my word. So it's hard to go back. You can't really do that. I've never been in that situation.
Right.
No NBA guy has ever told me, do what you do exactly how you do it, and you're going to be a millionaire.
Right.
I've never been in that situation, so I don't know.
Logan Lee with us here on TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. So I find it, as a lover of basketball and somebody who's trying to analyze this roster, I have no clue if they're better or worse. I don't know. Now, maybe the chemistry might be a little better, but I don't know at pure basketball from the pieces that they've gotten. They're different. That I know. So can we have an opinion this early? Are they better or worse?
I think they've got to be better, right?
Well, last year was terrible.
Exactly.
But they lost some
They have to be
too.
better. I mean, the guys that they lost, Emmanuel Miller. That's really the guy that they lost.
Right.
Savion had his bright spots, but in all consideration, he was already a senior, and so you were expecting him to leave after this year anyways. Not that you necessarily wanted him to or not, but McNeely. Everybody heard he was really good. I had seen some practices where he's lights out and he's definitely a great shooter, but we never saw that in the game. That was never proven to us. So is that a huge loss? On paper, maybe. With opinions, yes. But facts, not really. I mean,
right.
you don't know. I think every piece of the puzzle that Buzz has added this year has been an improvement. Does that mean that this team's going to be really good? I don't know. It's still way too early to tell. I think they are a NIT team and a bubble team, maybe if the ball bounces their way and they're able to make some noise at the right time. I think they're a bubble team right now. That could change.
Bubble NCAA or bubble NIT?
No, bubble NCAA.
Okay.
I think they're an NIT team. It just on paper and everything that they've done, they're definitely an NIT team. I think that's the year that they're heading. If they have a good year, a really good year, they'll be in the NCAAs. Maybe. I don't know. It's tough right now.
And I think that's the thing. I don't know because it's kind of like the offensive line with A&M. Different situation, obviously, but until the pieces gel together, this might be one of the best teams in the SEC defensively and the way they attack, and they just grind victories out.
Hold on.
Well, I'm just hey, I'm trying to be a happy guy here, right?
I got you.
Oh, for instance, when Billy built his team, were they the most talented on the floor all the time?
No, not at all.
They found ways.
No,
to
Logan
win.
was on the court.
Well,
I didn't hear what he said.
Dalton said no. Logan was on the court. But I think my point
You're
is
wrong. Logan wasn't on the court.
But I think my point is if Buzz has a formula that helps him win and you can grind out victories the way Billy started building his program, and Buzz is a disciple of that, right? Then potentially they could, I mean, I'm not saying they're going to win the SEC or anything. Please don't get me wrong, but we don't know. But grinding sometimes wins you a lot more games. And if you get hot, you get hot.
So here's the thing. Billy's first year, we went 8-8, and we were third round NIT team. And we had talent on that team, but that talent, it took some time to gel. The next year, we go second round of the NCAA tournament. And we had some more talent because he had an extra year to bring in some younger talent and to get some guys. And then the third year, we're a Sweet 16 team because those same guys that he had continued to mold and gel were on the roster, understood what he wanted, and he was continuously adding talent. I think that's where we're at with Buzz. Buzz has, this year, has added talent. Now he's got to put it together. He's got to mold it and make it to their own.
He doesn't have an AC Law or Joseph Jones yet.
He doesn't have an AC Law. He doesn't have a Joseph Jones.
A Chris Walker, a Logan Lee.
He doesn't have a Josh Carter.
Right.
Shooting 50% from the three-point line for the season. I mean, he doesn't have that, but I think he understands that right now. And while he's not building his teams to be exactly like ours were, he's still building what he wants and what he needs.
The image that he wants. Last thing for you. What's in the pipeline? Are there any guys coming up that we should be excited about? anything out there in the future that gets you excited about Aggie basketball?
Buzz gets me excited.
Okay.
The guys coming in have gotten me excited. I like, on paper, I like their roster. I like what they're doing. Another thing that gets me excited is the unknown, because this year they have an entire offseason. They are able to Buzz and his staff are able to mold this team right now. They started 2 months ago, 3 months ago, whenever it was, getting this team prepared. They didn't have that the last year. They didn't have that, and that is very important. And I know we've talked about that a lot, but that can never go unstated. The amount of time that Buzz puts in to his team, the effort that he puts into his team, he expects that effort coming back. And when they have an entire offseason, you will see them infinitely better this year.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, man.
All right. When we come back, more of your text messages on the A&B text line and the BCSI Associates hotline if you want to call in, 979-693-1150. At 9:35, my interview with Chris Doering, the former Florida standout, and obviously SEC Network. All that and more on TexAgs.
Tune in to the Louis Bellina Show, weekdays from 11 to 2 here on Sports Radio 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. The Zone.
When you have trouble sleeping, it's tough. When kids have trouble sleeping,
Mom, I can't sleep. Dad, just one more story?
for nights like this, try Vicks Pure Z's Kids. Our great-tasting gummies are specially formulated for kids with a unique blend of botanicals and a low dose of melatonin to support their natural sleep cycle. Best of all, they're drug-free and non-habit forming. Help your child fall asleep naturally with Pure Z's Kids Gummies. Consult with a doctor before use. For ages 4 and up.
Our publications reach every corner of the Brazos Valley, and we want to partner with you in sharing your message with the community. You may recognize a few of our Bryan Broadcasting publications.
Best of the Brazos Valley.
Brazos Life, the annual manual.
Welcome home, Brazos Valley.
Brazos Family. Brazos Wellness.
Brazos Valley Bride.
Peace, Brazos Christian Life.
With the combined power of 7 magazine titles, 11 radio stations, and digital solutions, Bryan Broadcasting Publications can help you be heard. Call 979-695-9595 to learn more.
What if one day you went to your secret hiding place? You know, that spot that only you know about? And instead of what you came for, you found something a little different. What if instead of your private stash, you found a simple phone number, 1-800-662-HELP? What would you do? Would you stop and give it some thought? Would you make the call? The truth is, all drug use comes with risk. Before those risks become real, before drugs turn your life upside down, before drugs take their toll on you and your family, know that there is help. You can quit. If you or someone you love is struggling with drug use or prescription drug misuse, call 1-800-662-HELP for 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral, or go to samhsa.gov/thereishelp.
This is ESPN Radio.
Head coach Mike Boynton, Oklahoma State basketball.
Immense talent, work ethic that's been unmatched by any other kid I've coached.
Talking to Matt Aggie right now, the head coach of the Chicago Bears.
When I say the room is healthy, Andy Dalton is doing everything he possibly can to help Justin.
Charles Haley, Pro Football Hall of Famer.
I always believe that the fans, they're the ones that paid my salary. I always felt like I owed them something.
Talking to Pat Connaughton right now, NBA champion.
The talking head saying it can't be done, Giannis has to leave. It just makes it that much sweeter in the end.
Rams head coach Sean McVay.
Some of the most difficult parts of playing the quarterback position are really where he illustrates what a special player he is.
Hall of Famer Oscar Robertson.
It's a partnership. Now the players can decide if 2 or 3 want to get together. Years ago, owners could stop that.
Played the tight end position for the Green Bay Packers, Jermichael Finley.
If you got a guy saying, I'm not taking that shot, guess what that looks like? Oh, we ain't got a team player here.
ESPN Radio, weeknights and weekends on Sports Radio 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. The Zone.
TexAgs Radio. Doesn't look like we're going to get to the 5,000 on YouTube. One segment to go here. I don't know, unless Dalton forgets to turn it off, we can go a little bit longer. That has been known to happen. TexAgs Radio presented by David
I'll give
Gardner.
it till the end of the Doering interview.
Look at you. But you care about the people.
I mean, I'm the man of the people. The people's champ. Must be everything the people can't be.
I don't think you are. In fact, I'm fairly certain you are not the people's champ.
51 subscribers away.
And as you say that, I watched the people who are watching us drop 10% droppage from that commentary. Thank you. Thank you for ruining the stream, Dalton. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
I think I said what we are. I think I told you guys we're TexAgs Radio. If you don't know that, that's interesting. David Gardner's Jewelers is our presenting sponsor. We are here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. We've got some text messages, and we've got some message board material and chats to get into with Tomas Romo. I don't know why I always say your name. Does your family say it Tomas, or do they say Tomas?
It depends. When my dad says it's more Tomas, but when it's my mom or, if I'm introducing myself to people, they say, oh, Tomas. I get the occasional Thomases here and there, but I like the way you say it. I like the little Romo accent you put at the end of it.
Tomas. Oye, Tomas, ¿qué tienes? Vamos.
Well, we got a couple stone cold locks here on offense. We got Trey and Shiner stone cold lock is that the offense will be even more explosive than last year because Jimbo Fisher will finally put the critics to rest and show that his offense can win a national championship.
Well, he has won a national championship, and he's got more weapons here than he's ever had, and I believe those weapons are going to open up the other weapons. Who are you going to double? Okay. Let's double Anaya Smith. Okay, there's Chase Lane. Hi, Chase Lane, touchdown. Thank you. They try to load up the box. Okay, well, fine. We'll split it out. We got Jalen Watermeyer. Hello, touchdown. Oh, Baylor Cup is out. Oh, hello. Eli Stowers is in that. There's so many. Who are you going to double team? Let's say you double team a couple guys. Well, then you've got somebody else. That's just the way the roster is built. As long as people stay healthy and the offensive line gels, I think we're headed to a phenomenal season. Jalen Preston, hello. There's a lot of different. Caleb Chapman is back from health, so yeah. No, I feel that. What else do you have for me, Tomas?
I got another one. David in Temple Stone Cold Lock is that it's funny that you mentioned Anaya Smith and all these other players, but that A&M's offense is able to put so many multi-talented players on the field at one time. It's going to create a lot of mismatches for opposing defenses. It is.
That is basically what I alluded to a moment ago. But let's talk about the mismatches. What happens when Anais is in the backfield? You think one thing is going. He goes to splits out wide. And if you have Eli out there, how are you going to adjust to that? Well, we know this guy's a pass-catching tight end. Well, what I'm saying is the mismatches are going to cause defensive personnel that's out there on the field a lot of headaches. How do they adjust to that is going to be what I find the most fascinating thing. And I'm totally fine with the pro-style offense. Kids want to play in a pro-style offense. Gives them a chance to get ready for the NFL. I think it's an effective way to go. And when you have a loaded backfield, why wouldn't you run the ball? Why wouldn't you give the ball to Isaiah, Anais, Devon A. Chain? Why wouldn't you? LJ Johnson. The list goes on and on. Anything else, Tomas?
I got one more for you. Ground and pound. A&M will run the ball, and they will run the ball effectively.
A&M will run the ball. It's like I almost knew the messages you're going to read, but I didn't. This is not like fake radio guy stuff, but I almost knew what you were going to say based on what I just said earlier. You can copy and paste my answer back there a moment ago when I'm talking about that running game. And yesterday, if you check out my Twitter account, I don't think I posted on the message boards, but it is on my Twitter account. Isaiah Spiller running through the pads, just the low level of gravity, the strength, the power, the speed, the finesse. That dude can just run. Being up close to it and feeling the wind pass you as he's hitting those pads, it was just very nice to see. Good work out there, Tomas. I appreciate it. And by the way, Luch will be joining us here on the BCSI hotline in about a half hour. If you have questions for him, excuse me, I had a senior moment there. If you have questions, you want to get into the show, you can text the A&B text line. We'll certainly take those questions for Luch. We call it Hey Luch. We'll do that around 10:35 or so. Some are already coming in. I see we got Sutton College Station sending his stuff in and others as well. So if you got some questions for Lucci, you'll want to do that and get it in there early, and we'll try to read all of them. We'll put that to Tomas's task on his first day at the social center. I think he's doing a great job. We appreciate Tomas. He'll be doing Fridays with us here on the show. We have Toria Spravoa still doing her stuff, so we are, and Anna Peterson going to be rejoining the fold as well. We got a loaded social News and Social Center Group, as we kind of rebranded it to bring a news element to it as well. When we come back, Chris Doering. We know him from the University of Florida. We know him from the SEC Network. We know him doing the show with Peter Burns. Good friend of the show. He joins us. A recorded interview I did yesterday, so you'll notice the Batman shirt. Sorry about that. Not wearing it 2 days in a row. We'll get that with Chris and more Aggie Breakdown here on TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers.
I'm Chelsea Reber with your community calendar on the Zone. Loss of a Spouse is a free seminar on Sunday, August 29th from 4 to 6 p.m. at Peace Lutheran Church. Email rhonda@peacelutheranbcs.org for more information. Now on display at the Arts Council, Refrigerator Art. Art created during summer art camps and Saturday adult classes will be displayed in the lobby gallery through the end of August. Pride Community Center offers 2 support groups to bring individuals together to address societal pressure, discrimination, and stigma regarding LGBTQ+ identity. For more information on these programs, visit pridecc.org. Help the Brazos Valley Food Bank bring hope to the table. Go online to bvfb.org. Stop by the Tap for dinner and a drink or listen in on the Zone 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. Join the Liucci Hour, powered by King Ranch Saddle Shop, every Monday and Thursday night at 6. You can also listen online at radioaggieland.com. I'm Chelsea Reber on the Zone.
There's a Kubota for every job. There's a Kubota for every harvest. There's a Kubota for every task. And at Normandy Tractor, for a limited time only, take the drive to Normandy, Texas, and let Vernon and the boys show you what they have. Get the new Kubota BX 1880 16.6 horsepower tractor and a Kubota loader with a quick attach bucket now through December 31st, 2021. For a cash price of only $12,950, or payments as low as $170 per month. With no money down, based on 0% down, 1.99% APR for 84 months. Normandy Tractor has over 8 acres of Kubota tractors, Kubota RTVs, ATVs, and Kubota mowers to choose from. They're at the corner of Highway 39 and OSR in Normandy, Texas. And remember, nobody beats Normandy Tractor. Nobody.
Now through December 31st, 2021. For warranty terms, see Kubota's limited warranty at KubotaUSA.com or your Kubota dealer.
We think it's time for a laugh. Bryan Broadcasting and the Nikki Peterson Talent Network present Good Clean Fun, a comedy night with Carrie Pomeroli.
So you guys, yes, I am a member of the Mommy Mafia. I have 2 kids. I have a 4-year-old and a good one.
Hollywood's favorite clean comedian is live in College Station, Friday, September 3rd at 7 p.m. at Skybreak Church.
I was in the Zumba class, and there's this teacher, right? And she's all cute and sassy, and she's like, shake what your mama gave you. I'm in the back are going, my mama gave me sciatica and allergies.
Bring your friends, bring a date, bring anyone who's ready for a good time.
You guys, who's happy just to be out of the house? Really? Right?
Good Clean Fun, a comedy night with Carrie Pomeroli, September 3rd, presented by Nikki Peterson Talent Network. Be discovered. Thanks in part to our sponsors, Strata Auto Repair, Mark's Manny's Appliance Repair and Cleaning Service, Dirt Road Rustics Furniture and Home Decor, Buff City Soap, Soap Makery, and Longway Home Adoptables. Tickets, VIP, and group packages available at BryanBroadcasting.com.
Welcome back. TexAgs Radio presented by David Gardner's Jewelers in the Rollo Insurance Studio. We appreciate you guys listening and chiming in on the A&B text line and the BCSI Associates hotline. Thank you very much for being a part of this wonderful show. I do want to respond to a text message I got on the A&B text line. And Chris in Montgomery. God bless America. That music is awful. You have to change the intro music from the breaks. I know you're doing this because of YouTube, but come on, man. And I mentioned to him, it's 5 seconds of music. I think we're going to be okay. Which his response, you keep thinking that, don't you want to make your show better or do you want to make it worse? I want to make it worse. Dalton,
if you're listening to this show for 5 seconds of music, that's interesting.
Yeah, like when the Cosby Show, maybe a bad example, Family Ties before your time, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Yeah, I know the intro song you got everybody into the show, but like if they would have had a random song, I would have still watched the show. If the content is good, the content is good. If the 9 seconds of YouTube music Is that affecting you? And I can't listen to him talk about my Aggies, my favorite Aggies in the world, that I would watch them in a blizzard. I would watch them in the hottest day ever. My skin is burning. I would watch them. But I won't listen to you talk about my Aggies if you have 9.3 seconds of a random YouTube song so more people can watch and consume the show and our listenership is going up. It'll be okay, guys. You know what? Maybe at some point we'll just say, nah. We're going to go all Van Halen. Maybe we will. But I think I have more experience in this realm than him. That's just my experience. I think we'll be okay. 9 seconds. But trust me, I hate the music too, for the record. You're exactly right, Chris. The music is horrendous, which is why I like it. It's just fun to listen to and laugh. And in fact, Dalton picked every one of these songs. So send your hate mail to Dalton. Dalton@dalton.com. That's how you reach him. That's still your email, right?
Occasionally.
All right. I'm going to get in trouble if I don't get to this Chris Doering interview because we've got to do Around Aggie Land a little bit later with Richard Zane. Here's my conversation about the Aggies with Chris Doering from the SEC Network just, not even 24 hours ago. All right, we are now joined by Chris Doering of the SEC Network, and of course, it's time at the University of Florida and the NFL and the BCSI hotline. Chris, how you doing, man?
I'm good. Good to be back with you, man. I mean, it's something exciting right around the corner here with football just about 2 weeks away.
Yes, sir. What's up with Burns making fun of you for wearing shorts today? What was up with that?
He makes fun of me for anything, and I'm okay. I can just roll with it. I don't get quite as sensitive as some people do. But yeah, he was on me for wearing shorter shorts. And here's the deal. I have a 17-year-old son that if I wear shorts that are too long, he's going to get on me. Burns gets on me for being too short, so I can't win in any of my settings, bro.
Yeah, well, growing up, we got away from the short shorts, but now it's all back. That's what all the guys are wearing.
Not only did my son wear the short shorts, but he rolls them at the top, too, to make them even more short. So, yeah, it's a little too uncomfortable for me. I can get away with the 7-inch, maybe a 5-inch bathing suit, but I can't do much shorter than that. That's a little too much for us, like you said, guys like you and I that transitioned into the Fab Five longer shorts.
That's exactly right. So let's talk about college football being right around the corner. What, a week and some change between before we get the Nebraska-Illinois game. What does it mean for you as we are now we've had all the talking points, Chris. I've been hosting this show and I've run out of talking points. We need some games and now it's coming.
It's funny, we're doing SEC now last night and then again, coming up here tonight. Just you really feel like you've exhausted every possible way to present stuff heading into the year. Let's talk about the most intriguing SEC games, the most intriguing out-of-conference games. Who are your favorite 11 offensively, favorite defense? Let's get to it so we actually have some new talking points. But I think it's interesting this time of year, and it seems to happen when we go to SEC Media Days and then from then to the season, is that we hear things, we say things, and we haven't had any games to disprove any theories. So it becomes almost like an echo chamber. You're repeating the same things over and over again, actually believing them. So I think it's interesting when we finally kick the ball off, just how many of those things we were sure about as we got to the end of August are disproven when we get to September.
So what did you make of the AP poll? SEC obviously all over it. What was it, 3 of the top 6 and also 5 in the top 25?
I was actually a little surprised. Georgia was the one that kind of stood out to me the most. I think with all that they have returning in terms of continuity of coaching staff, you get back your quarterback, you feel good about where your offense finished last season. The defense is going to be stacked. Now, I thought that was a team that might be a little bit higher. I think you could make the opposite argument for Alabama with all that they lose and all the coaching turnover and what they're going to have to be doing to try to assimilate to a new offense with everybody, kind of figuring their spots out with so much production loss. That's, I guess we're going off of historical ability to, wash, rinse, repeat. But at the same time, at some point in time, it's got to cause them trouble, I would expect. I keep waiting for that roulette wheel. It's been black over and over again. We keep betting that it's going to be red. And Nick Saban and company keep proving that they don't really take a step back.
Yeah, and more on Georgia, I agree with you from a talent perspective, but they're hurting right now. Is it 2 or 3 other receivers going to be out? How does that affect them heading into that first Clemson game?
Well, I mean, I think more so than maybe even the receivers. I look at Erickson, the center, potentially being out with the guy that's in charge of not only making all the calls up front, but getting the football to start the play to the quarterback. that's a potential issue. I think the offensive line for them is going to have a little bit of a difficulty acclimating and kind of figuring out as they've reshuffled a lot of guys in the offseason. You know this. I mean, that's the most important unit on the field, and being able to play as one group as opposed to 5 individuals takes time. So I do think that's going to be a tough challenge facing maybe one of the best defensive lines, or the best in the country this year in Clemson. So that's a concern for me. But in terms of pass catchers, that was a spot for Georgia that I thought was really going to be solid heading into this season. And you had the Pickens injury, obviously, that kept him out. But Arik Gilbert now, his absence, and Burton and Kearis Jackson both coming back from injuries. There's a lot of question marks there too. So it is something that I think that's created a little bit of concern if you're a Georgia fan.
Keeping it with that top 5, do you buy the Oklahoma hype out there?
Yeah, well, why are we're talking Oklahoma hype because we actually believe that the defensive line has made incredible strides. I think it's going to be interesting, and the sooner that it happens, the more interesting I think it's going to be, because they think they've improved to the level of the SEC, but I'd love to see what that actually looks like when they hold up, against an SEC offensive line, and they're measured every week against the top defensive lines in our conference. So I don't necessarily believe it. They've done a great job of navigating the Big 12 and getting to the college football playoff year in and year out. But that first, semifinal exit that we know is coming every season, I think at the hands of the SEC is a prelude of what you're going to see when they first try to acclimate to this conference.
Chris, I think that's a great point, because when we're thinking about what Texas is going to do, what Oklahoma is going to do, it took A&M a while. If it wasn't for Johnny Football, those first 2 years could have been pretty lean. Now I go to practice and I see SEC dudes all over the place. Jimbo's recruiting at a different level.
Yeah, I think 2 reasons for that. One, and I mean, we're talking about DeMarvin Leal, one of the best defensive linemen in the entire country this year, was actually recruited by the previous staff. So I guess I can't say this with absolute certainty, but Jimbo Fisher has coached in the SEC for a long time as an assistant, understands what it takes to win in this league. I think he's not only recruited great players, they've developed them really, really well. They've created a physical atmosphere in practice that you would probably know much better than I do, but hearing the stories about the way they get after it reminds me a lot of some of the practices that we were a part of in the SEC when I was coming up. And then Mike Elko, I look at what he's done in terms of the commitment to being a great run-stopping defense. And I've heard a lot of people talk to our boy Billy Liucci the other day and talked about the comparisons between A&M's defensive line and Alabama and Georgia's defensive lines. You look at them on tape, they are very, very similar in terms of the way they look, the way they're built, and maybe this year, the depth of talent that they have. I think that's the thing that separates really good defensive lines in our conference. Everybody has talent on the defensive line, but how many waves of defensive linemen can you roll in there without losing anything from your first team unit to the second, third guys?
Chris, when I hear people talk about Jimbo and what he's been able to do with this offense, one of the knocks I hear is that pro-style offense, he hasn't evolved. Do you think that's a knock, or is it more of this is the personnel he's got and he's going to maximize what he has?
I think there's a little bit of both when it comes to coaching. Everybody has a preference with the way they'd like to play schematically, but I think a good coach does tailor his offense around the skill set of his roster. But let's not forget, it was only a couple of years ago we were remarking about the idea of A&M even utilizing a tight end. Jalen Weidermeyer's become one of the best in the country in that role, using a fullback, which I think you talk to Isaiah Spiller. He loves having a guy running in front of him and being able to run downhill with a lead blocker. So I as much as everybody's kind of moved to the spread style, which Jimbo Fisher has implemented some of those dynamics into his offense, he knows what he wants to be. And I think there's something to be said for having authenticity when it comes to the type of team you're trying to build and the schemes you're using.
So obviously I'm inside and I see it a certain way, but when you see the playmakers beyond Jalen Weidermeyer and you look at what Demas could be and A-Chain in the backfield, Isaiah Spiller and Anaya Smith, I feel like they have so many different types of weapons that it can really open up that playbook.
No, I agree with you 100%. The thing that I want to see is more realized potential from the wide receiver position. I was sick last year, even though Caleb Chapman was lighting up my Gators. It was fun watching him kind of have that breakout game. I'm excited about seeing him back and be healthy, but there's still a lot of guys that were highly recruited players at the wide receiver position that I think we've only seen the tip of the iceberg from. So I'm excited to see how they continue to develop. And again, I don't know that there's many coaching staffs or head coaches that are able to develop talent the way that Jimbo Fisher does and what his resume has shown to do in the past.
Hey, Chris, I saw you guys tweeting about it, or at least Burns was, that you guys talked about it on your show. What's up with Mike Leach? I guess some fans didn't think he was engaged, or what's going on there?
Well, we played some sound from Paul Feinbaum, who said that, Mike Leach has not done a great job of really indoctrinating himself into the community there. And when you find yourself in the gray area, which he feels like he inevitably will, that he hasn't made a whole lot of inroads and friends there that can buy him some time. I don't necessarily agree with that. First and foremost, a coach's job is not to be a politician. A coach's job is to win football games. So if you're winning football games, it doesn't matter how big of a guy that can be a little bit grumpy. It doesn't really matter. It's when you find yourself not winning games, and I think that he does a great job of focusing on what's important. I also saw, I don't know if you saw the tweet that was retweeted by Matt Wyatt, something that he had written recently, but all of the different things that did list the way that he had kind of indoctrinated himself and ingratiated himself to that community. So I think there were some misnomers maybe out there about the type of coach he's been and the type of community member that he's been. And it was great discussion. As you know, trying to fill 3 hours of radio in the off season can be challenging. So it led to some good discussion today, both on the air and on social media.
Hey, Chris, last thing for you. Did you see the story about the South Carolina assistant or grad assistant getting a chance to be with the quarterback group, a guy who comes with a pretty good name?
Yeah, it sounds like what we see in basketball a lot, where one of the managers gets a chance to move into being a guy that's on the end of the bench and all. So I don't know that he's going to get many reps, but it's certainly a cool story to think about, a coach being able to cross over and relive some of those playing days.
Yeah, I want my chance, Chris. Hey, thanks so much for joining us, man. You're always so accommodating, so polite. We look forward to seeing you on the SEC Network and all the great stuff you do with Burns.
No, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me back, and look forward to catching up once the season gets going.
All right, I appreciate Chris Doering here on the show. My mic on, guys? Hello. Check in. I appreciate Chris Doering coming on the show. Couple things. Got little text messages about this YouTube debate. Good to Dalton. You got to understand, man. This YouTube debate is really upsetting people. Like, people are like, even though they're currently responding to me, listening to the show, they're saying they're not listening to the show. So we've got to do something about it because the 9 seconds is causing a lot of heartache. So I apologize to all those. And I actually have received a lot of text messages. Here's one, though, from Tony in Lexington. The music debate is really funny. Would people rather have random elevator music or public domain music like Oh My Darling Clementine? And I think, you know what? Since the people have spoken, the rest of the show, we should do opera music. They want real music, we'll give it to them. You okay with that, Dalton?
I'm good with it, yeah.
All right, we're going to go, because that's what the people are asking. If they want real music, they don't want the elevator music from YouTube. We're going to go 100% opera.
It's all what we produce.
Yeah.
In-house music.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm not the one picking the music. It is 100% Dalton. Send your hate mail.
I'm not picking it either.
You're kind of picking it.
I gave them a bunch of options. There's like 30 songs in there.
Send your hate mail.
Again, if 9 seconds is bothering you, I'm sorry.
No, but hey, I miss the Bad Bunny. It's amazing. All the people are asking for more Bad Bunny. That's what they're saying. I miss the Bad Bunny. People think I actually pick the music. Every once in a while, they may ask for my feedback on a song or two. I may ask, yeah, let's play Eye of the Tiger. Let's play Kanye West. Let's play Bad Bunny. But I'm really not, doing it. I didn't realize I've become Ryan Seacrest. But that's cool. The guy makes a lot of money. Total Request Live here on TexAgs Radio. That's what we're going to do. For the Liucci Hour, though, we will go. And by the way, I got to go to a break quickly because poor Richard's going to have 19 seconds. But I just do want to talk about my friends at Aggieland Outfitters. Right now, it is your chance to text 900-900 for the Big Friday giveaway, courtesy of our friends at Aggieland Outfitters. We're going to do that winner later on today at 10 o'clock. But this one is the Adidas 2021 Aggie soccer jersey. We talked soccer earlier. It's a beautiful jersey. When it's hot outside, this is the kind of shirt you want to wear. Aero-ready technology, powered by the moisture-wicking fabric, absorbs the water. You don't want to go into an event and be all sweaty. Even if you go to the Aggie football game and you're wearing something that's Aero-ready, it's embarrassing when your shirt sticks out the cotton stuff. And you've got all the moisture out there, your armpits, your belly, sweat. That's disgusting, by the way. All those things, you don't want that to happen. That's why you want to hang out with the guys at Aggieland Outfitters. They got the top of the line merchandise, the fabrics that they use, just amazing. You want to go check it out. $44.99 for this Adidas 2021 soccer jersey. It is nicely fitting shirt. I like it. Got the street stripes in the back. It's a good one. Check out Aggieland Outfitters.
Your home for Texas A&M women's basketball is Sports Radio 1150 AM and 93.7 FM. The Zone.
Everyone in the Brazos Valley has a unique story to tell. It's a community made up of survivors.
He's going to have a full recovery.
He's got such a good attitude about everything.
Hard workers.
Everyone kind of had a pivot and looked to see how things were going to change.
Visionaries.
That really drives that economic engine for growth within the Brazos Valley.
And just good people.
There are inspiring stories everywhere you look, and your local news team is dedicated to bring you more on KRHD News, connecting the Brazos Valley.
AggielandBigDeals.com. Shop local, buy local, save big. I'm struggling, can't pay full price. How about Aggieland Big Deals? Yeah, that's right. I'll be shopping local and saving big with discounts up to 30% on food, clothes, and car repair, or even entertainment and personal care. Is it really gonna be convenient though? Just download the app right on your phone. Oh man, that's slick. Now I'm all in. Those digital certificates are fun to spend. Plus I can print and send gifts along at AggielandBigDeals.com.
Does your bank know your first name? At Normandy State Bank, they do. Normandy State Bank is locally owned, controlled, and operated. This local personal touch means banking decisions are made on site the same day you request it. Normandy State makes banking easy. They're open Saturdays, offer state-of-the-art online banking, bill paying, fund transfers, check and statement images. Normandy State, where customer service is their priority. Normandy State Bank, rock solid. Member FDIC.
When you have trouble sleeping, it's tough. When kids have trouble sleeping,
Mom, I can't sleep. Dad, just one more story?
for nights like this,